this morning. And right now, a lot of the heavier rain and the stronger storms are moving off to the east. So that's great news for anyone who has to travel this morning, especially if you are headed down 75. I know a lot of people are on spring break and a lot of people are headed out of town. However, that heavy rainfall is causing some delays at the airport. So make sure you keep that in mind if you're leaving in the next hour or so. Allow plenty of time for you to get to the airport on time and in an on-time fashion. Let's do a little bit of investigating with our radar. There is one severe thunderstorm warning, but it is way outside of our viewing area, so you don't have to worry about that. It is going past Macon near Pitts, down 75 south, so that's definitely going to be some heavy rainfall if you are headed that way. As far as here in Metro Atlanta, the best news I can give to you is that we are starting to see a little bit of a break in that rainfall, but unfortunately, we do have some spots that have a flooding potential. In fact, we've had some reports of flooding near Roswell Road. If we take a closer look across the perimeter this morning, as of right now, just heavy rainfall along the south side of 285 going near 675 as well. On the north end of the perimeter, that rain is slacking up just a little bit. I-20 headed west going towards Carrollton. That looks okay, which is good news. But if you're going 20 east, you could definitely be running into some more heavy rainfall as you head out that way. In fact, we were talking about the airport. Let's show you the conditions at the airport right now. I think that's very important. As of right now, things are okay. You can see there is a plane taxiing out, so that lets you know there's not a ground stop right now. But if there's any lightning in the area of the airport, they will put a ground stop on for those people who are on the tarmac. So if you need to get your bags, that can definitely be delayed. So just anticipate delays throughout your day and as you travel. Now, this system is pushing eastward. So here in Georgia, we are starting to see things slack up. We're starting to see the weather get a little bit better, improve just a little bit, which is great news. However, once again, if you are traveling, expect delays, especially along the East Coast for today. As far as our other cameras are concerned, let's see if we can pull up some more cameras for you so you can see exactly what else we're looking at and what else you can keep on your radar throughout the day. As of right now, heavy rainfall in the metro just not happening, which is good news, but that can all change at a moment's notice. In fact, let's see if I can pull up another camera. Sometimes it's a little bit slow. That's another shot of the airport. I'll come over here. Let's take a look at Atlanta Motor Speedway. They had a very busy this morning. They were actually in that tornado warning earlier. So this is a look at that camera. Still raining pretty good out there. Definitely not going to be seeing any breaks in the clouds anytime soon. But you can see the spots on the racetrack there, just collecting that rainfall. That's what you can expect throughout the next few days. So the ground is very, very saturated, and we're starting to see some pooling of that rain, and that's what's causing some of the flooding concerns that we're starting to see. This is a look into Cobb County this morning. It's not raining as hard as it is down near Atlanta Motor Speedway near McDonough, but it's definitely got a little bit of precipitation on that camera, which is good. Slowing up is good news for us. And if we take a look up into the Blue Ridge Mountains this morning, want to see exactly what's happening out in Blue Ridge. That's perfect. That's a good Monday morning. The roads are a little bit wet, but at least you're not fighting that heavy rainfall, what we've been seeing over the last few hours. So that's definitely good news. We're starting to see things slack up. Here's even better news. I know that there was a tornado warning this morning, but we do not have any tornado watches, which is great news. So while the weather could still be very impactful throughout the next few hours, as far as a tornado watch is concerned, we are not in one. So if you are concerned about severe weather, this is what happens during the springtime. Whenever we have these isolated showers, or even really this front that's passing through along the leading edge, even if there is a second, a third, a fourth wave of rain, when that leading edge arrives, the winds, they could be high. And unfortunately, you can see a brief spin up. And that's what happened this morning in McDonough. We saw that brief spin up along that leading edge of really like the third or fourth wave of rainfall. So you just have to be weather aware. When we talk about being weather aware, it goes all the way until the threat is over, even though some tornado watches are canceled. Now, if you are wondering what happened, I know you might have heard of the sad news that happened in Columbus last night. This is the video of that. This was sent in from our 11 Alive Weather Impact Facebook page, sent in by Carol Simmons, and you can see how that rain was really taking over. In fact, I'm going to put it on the big camera so that you guys can see that. That's how heavy that rain was. And Carol mentioned that it all came at once. She said she was on her balcony taking a picture, And then all of a sudden, the rainfall just increased, the winds increased, the winds were blowing, and that's what you can see. Sometimes you're expecting, oh, the weather's not bad right now, and in a second's notice, things can change immediately. And so, you know, this puts it into perspective of what was happening in Columbus when that tree unfortunately fell down. A lot of people were without power yesterday as well, and that's a big part of our weather story. I know that Coweta and Fayette County also dealing with some power outages yesterday. They have since been restored, but look at that. What you're seeing right now on your screen is a tree on power lines. This was in West Coweta County yesterday, and that was the sentiment. There wasn't necessarily a tornado that could have caused that. That could happen from just high winds. So whenever we're talking about severe weather, it's very important that you just make sure that you are prepared in case there is a chance for you to lose power. So we were talking about the tornado a little bit earlier. I know some people that might have put you on edge, which totally fine. I definitely understand. So this is our tornado environment. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through what this means and how this works, right? So what you're seeing on your screen, I know it looks great, kind of reminds you of our visibility tracker, but this is exactly where we're keeping our eye on for the potential, a low-end threat for a tornado environment. So when you see this gray, if you look at the legend, it is a very low end. That's not a zero. A zero would be here in Metro Atlanta, which I know that provide some relief for some people. But in East Georgia, near Eatonton, unfortunately, we still could be seeing some low-end threat. And in fact, I'm going to advance it just a little bit because even as we head into the afternoon hours, we do have some rain that could still happen. But as you can see, by the time we get to 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the evening, we are not seeing that tornado environment present, which is great news for us. Now, as far as your wind gusts are concerned, what are we looking at for your wind gusts? Winds will start to calm down just a little bit. And you can see they fluctuate. And that's just kind of telling with all of this rainfall that we're getting, the waves of rain that are happening. When the rain comes through, the wind gusts pick up. So around 8:30 p.m., we could be seeing some more high wind gusts. And that's just the end of the front pushing through. Our temperatures, though, will continue to fall as well. So that's very important to note. Just make sure that you are prepared. With the ground being this saturated, the winds being this gusty, we can't rule out trees continuing to fall down as we head into the evening hours of today. So this is a look at your forecast wind gusts throughout the rest of this evening. Definitely very telling as far as wind gusts are concerned. Now we are in a weather impact alert. This was yesterday's weather impact alert. That's for the heavy rain and the storms. That's over, but we do have the heavy rainfall, and that's very important for you all to know as well. Let me make sure I get the right graphic there so that you can see exactly what our new weather impact alert is. It is for today. It goes until 4 p.m. today, so make sure that you are aware of that. As far as impacts with this rainfall and the things that we need to know, just make sure that you are prepared in case there are some heavy rain that has accumulated. Watch for flooded areas, any additional localized flooding. When the rain stops, that does not mean that the floodwaters are going to automatically recede. We have been seeing GDOT, the Hero trucks, all types of emergency crews working together to make sure that if there is a flooded area, specifically on the interstates, they're doing a great job of trying to clear that out and make sure that there's not any longer a flooding risk. We saw that happen on 285 last night, as well as some spots around the metro area. But make sure that you are aware that if you roll up on a area that has a lot of flood water, don't drive through it. You don't want your car to stall out as you're going through it, because that could also happen on a back road as well. Once again, weather impact alert continuing throughout the next few hours because we are tracking some rain showers. Now let's see what else is happening here. So let's take a look at our radar, because I think that is also good for you all to have an update. This is a look at our full radar here. Our viewing area just has that rainfall moving through East Georgia. In fact, I'll take a closer look into the Eatonton area, and I'll circle this on the screen so that you all can see. I think that this is very telling as well through Madison, even past McDonough, where that storm went through this morning. That still got some pretty heavy rainfall. So that circle region right there on your screen, that is where we're seeing the strongest of the storms right now. So when we're talking about live radar and we're talking about what's happening in East Georgia, this is really the strongest part of the storm system right now. Close to Eatonton, Madison, this is where you're going to be hearing the rumble of thunder. You're going to be seeing those winds really increasing. And unfortunately, we can't rule out a severe thunderstorm warning for this area right now. So the severe thunderstorm warning threat is not over. We're not in a tornado watch, but that does not mean that we can't see a severe thunderstorm warning that has some rotation on it. So this is the current radar right now. I know we're streaming, so you also have to remember that we're a little bit delayed on our end, but just make sure that you are aware that if you're in that circle region right there, that you are prepared in case there is a strong storm that could come through at any moment. We're not in a severe thunderstorm watch either, which is good, but still we have to make sure that you all are aware of it all. Here's a look at your planner. This is another interesting part of our day for today. Our temperatures, they will be falling throughout the day. We've actually already hit our high temperature for today. So as we continue to go throughout the next few hours, we're going to be seeing some rain showers throughout the next few. It will start to slack up. In fact, by 4 and 5 o'clock, we probably won't even see a lot of rainfall here in Atlanta. And I'll walk you through our futurecast in a moment. But by 2 p.m., it's going to be around 59 degrees. So throughout the day today, just anticipate it to get cooler. It's going to be a little bit wet outside. It's going to be cloudy. So we're not looking at a very nice day overall, but definitely a day where you need to be prepared for the cooler weather. So I know a lot of people are out on spring break. A lot of activities are probably planned for today. Just make sure that you are aware of that. And with those winds being higher throughout the day as well, that is also a chance for us to see some of those trees come down once again. Let's take a look at our 24-hour rainfall totals and what we've been seeing. So this is probably technically it's not very accurate simply because we didn't have rainfall this early in the morning yesterday. In fact, most of the heavy rainfall came a little bit later on. So what happens is every 24 hours, it changes just a little bit. So while you see those greens and yellows, we've really have collected at least maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if we've already surpassed the 2-inch mark as far as the rainfall is concerned. So definitely still anticipating a lot of rain. Let's walk you through our futurecast track and what we are seeing right now. This is a look at our forecast track. This is the rainfall that we are still monitoring and what can you expect throughout the next few days. So as I advance it, this is around lunchtime today. Here in Metro Atlanta, we are not seeing any more rainfall there, which is good news. But in East Georgia, there's still that threat that's going to continue. Also, as we continue to push it through, advance it just a little bit, there's still rainfall near Peachtree City. Also, we have to keep an eye out for some of these little isolated thunderstorms. Some of those could definitely pop up and be on the severe side, like this one little cell that could pop up near Peachtree City, even going through Covington, Eatonton, south of Thomaston. So those are some storms that we have to keep our eye on throughout the day as well. So, but you can see by 2:30 p.m., most of us are still looking at that rainfall. And I'm going to continue to advance it just a little bit. And this is around 5 p.m. So this could be some just lingering wraparound rain still hanging around on the back side of that front. This is at 5 p.m. today, so still not completely dry just yet. And that rainfall is going to continue to impact us just a little bit, especially when we're talking about collecting 2 to 3 inches of rain already. And then even at 6:30 p.m., we could have some of those stronger storms rolling through. It's really going to be around 8 or 9 o'clock before the severe weather threat is completely over for us here in Georgia. And then as we head into Tuesday, it's just going to be a very nice and sunny day, a little bit chillier outside for sure, but definitely much better than what we've been looking at so far. Let's take another look at what's been happening across our camera system. And I know that a lot of people are concerned because you might be headed to the airport today, and that's totally fine. And this is a look into our Blue Ridge camera. So Sorry, we got a few things going on here. Let's look at our Blue Ridge camera right now. And then this is another look down at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's going to pop up here any second. And you can see light rainfall still falling. In fact, it's probably some of the heaviest rain right now that we're seeing. It's not a complete downpour, but they are in the middle of the worst of the weather rolling through. So if we had a camera near Eatonton, you could definitely probably see the heaviest of the rainfall that is currently happening. Another look at Cobb County today. Cobb County, you all really going to start to see drying out, at least for the next few hours or so. This is a look at Truist Park. Cloud cover is definitely thick. Some light showers are continuing there at Truist Park. We didn't check out our Georgia Tech camera, so let's see what's happening in Midtown today. Right now, just some normal rainfall. The clouds are very low. The ceilings are low as well. So. But we're not looking at any heavy rain, which is great news, especially as traffic moves through. I'm sure traffic is definitely on the iffy side this morning. This is a look into Decatur from one of our sky cameras that's up there. And you can see, once again, ceilings low, but not really seeing any super duper heavy rainfall. Into Noonan this morning. Noonan. Not looking too bad. Even that flag that we like to check out all the time, not really blowing much around in the wind. And then we can get a check into our Northside Hospital camera so that we can see around Georgia 400 and 285. Traffic's moving great. Another good thing about people who are commuting this morning is that because so many schools are on spring break, that traffic is definitely much better this morning. Here's a look into our University of North Georgia camera in Dahlonega, and that's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the North Georgia mountains in the background there. Still not a lot of rainfall. Students probably getting ready for class. They should be in class, if not already. Hopefully they are prepared for that rain that moved through earlier today. Let's take another look at our radar. And we'll do some investigating, so look at some winds, and I'll stay on for a little bit longer so you guys can see, especially if you are in East Georgia. And I'll zoom in for you there, and I'll also draw a little circle on the area in which I am talking about. Uh-oh. I think someone is, there we go. This is the area in which we are concerned with. This is the strongest storm that I am seeing right now. So that's good news and bad news. I know that if you are in that area, you're probably on edge because you definitely just maybe an hour or two ago, there was a tornado warning out that was not too far from you all. But right now, that is just the heaviest and the strongest part of the storm that I am seeing. And that's good. No severe thunderstorm warning. So even though it's strong, it's definitely not meeting criteria as far as the wind gusts are concerned. And we'll take a look at the wind gusts. We're not seeing any reds or greens or anything like that in that area, which is good. Once again, I'll circle it there so you can see. And that's even better. So we're not seeing any super high winds in that area. We're just seeing normal rainfall. And I think that's good news for everyone who might be a little bit concerned. I'm going to back up the radar just a little bit because maybe you were asleep this morning and you missed the tornado warning that came through. So I'm going to back this radar up for we'll do the last 5 hours. And we'll walk you through it just a little bit so you can see what happened. And I'll make sure that I have Atlanta on the screen as well as where the storm moved through. I'll zoom in just a little bit so we can see it just a little bit better. Okay, so this is this morning at around 5:30, and that rainfall was coming through, just normal rain. But take a look. You got to watch to the left-hand side of the screen. In fact, this is the area that we'll be watching for, right? So that is where we saw that storm really intensify. So what's going to happen is you're going to start to see the organization of that leading edge get stronger and stronger.